point.
We just asked Makai how much have you improved. He said your mid-range is much better, all around better this year. What have you worked on, and where do you feel like you are right now here too?
I think the thing I try to focus on the most is, my IQ and, being in the right spot, making the right plays, and just making my team better, and just having the right mindset coming on the court, not getting into my own head, shoot the next shot, shoot the next open shot, make the next play, and especially on the defensive end, get stops, talk, communicate, and just, keep the right mindset.
I know you talked about during the summer you changed your number for one of your former teammate passing away. Can you talk about how did that affect you, that incident? How did that affect you?
Yeah, he was, I think, leaving a workout in Los Angeles with one of his teammates from Kentucky, and the whole incident happened, and I found out, I think, like 2 hours after it happened, and it was just devastating. To lose, someone so close to you. And, that's the closest it's been to me, thankfully. But, he was just such an inspiration at, Brewster. He was one of my best friends. At the beginning of the year, I kind of didn't like him just because of his mindset, his score-first mentality. I'm a pass-first guy. And, he kind of was, taking all the shots, taking all the shine. And, he was doing it, for his family. Trying to make it to the league, and he did. So, I'm just trying to really follow in his footsteps, and kind of just model him and mimic him, and just keep his name alive.
Demarr, in terms of finding a new system and getting into a new system, what's kind of that been like for you? I mean, I know you came along in one system of playing in college, but then you bring in a new coach. How's that kind of redefine your role, or how are you able to kind of look into the fresh slate and change the way that you've even played over the last, since you got here?
Finding this new system and, kind of rearranging my, mindset to this new system. I love Grant. I loved Christian. He was a great guy. And I honestly just think Grant, pushes us to our max potential. And, not to down Christian or anything, but, he didn't do anything wrong, but I just think Grant connects with us, on a personal level more, like, off the court than Christian did, honestly. And, he just brought in, a whole new staff that connects with us. We got our position coaches. My coach is Coach Markwood. I really love the guy. He had us over for dinner the other night with his family and his daughters. Like, it's just, it's just like a family-oriented, staff. And I think Grant's doing a great job, trying to not make us better people, not make us better players on the court, but off the court as well.
I wanted to ask about the assistants too, and because they come from so many different walks. Like you have Coach Goins from Clemson, you have Coach, your position coach. Everyone comes from a different spot. How is that kind of everyone's experience? How have you been able to sponge off of everyone and what they've done individually in the coaching profession, to help yourself?
I actually don't know where my position coach Markwood's from, but I know Goins is from Clemson, and he just talks about like how real gritty they were over at Clemson, especially on the defensive end. Just always talking, always communicating, always getting along, with the coaching staff. I kind of get into arguments on the court with Goins, talking about, call the foul, all this other stuff. And, that's something that I need to work on, as a person, as a player, because I can't, get no technicals from no refs or whatever and get myself thrown out the game or nothing like that. So it's been a real, kind of, I guess, challenge for me because he always, pushes me to my limit, mentally and emotionally on the court because it's an emotional game. We all love the game. And, I just got to kind of put myself in check more often.
Makai seems to think the bigs are going to have a much bigger role in this offense next year. Just how are you guys talking among yourselves? How do you feel about that?
I think they're gonna have probably the biggest role on the team, honestly. Because we got James. He's a senior. I think senior post-grad. I don't know what grade he's in, but he's one of the older guys on the team, and he's one of the vocal leaders on this team. He's the loudest person on the court at all times. Coming out, calling screens. We just gotta make the right reads, and on the offensive end, we got to get him the ball in the post, let him operate from the post because he's one of our better post players, and just let him do what he got to do. And same thing with QP, and when Justin gets in, he's gonna get his minutes and let them just operate really from the post and off ball screens and everything.
Demarr, you know how tough the ACC can be, but you've got some experience now. How much does that help you, relax a little bit, what the league's like?
Yeah, it's real tough. You went 4-13 last year, and it really does help me relax knowing that this next season I know, and I'm kind of prepared for what's coming, and just to help the freshmen coming in and the transfers coming in, and just letting them know, like in practice, like it's gonna be physical. You're not gonna get every call. I'm still learning that, and especially for a guy like, I think my probably best friend on the court is Kanye, because we're kind of the same height. I'm obviously much stronger, so I kind of can bully my way into the hoop or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just making him better. It's making him ready for what's gonna happen. Because if I can do that, then the dude from Duke can do that, or where NC State or whatever. And it's kind of just preparing him for that next level and when games really start.
As a player, how anxious do you get knowing the season is just a couple days away?
I get butterflies. I got butterflies right now, honestly. With the whole COVID year, having no fans, I was really thrown off, going into them games. The game I was really thrown off at was Duke, growing up and, seeing Coach K with that big Duke crowd behind Duke and, just walking in and seeing, nobody. It almost seemed like a nightmare, really. But, I'm new coming into this. I'm basically a freshman, but I got, a second year kind of veteran mentality. So I think it'll be a very interesting season for most of us.
In terms of the transfers that have come in, because obviously you have the ACC experience, but these guys have come in and they've played at good basketball schools. I mean, Brevin from Charleston and James already been here. How do you kind of blend that? I mean, these are guys who are coming in from programs elsewhere, and they're coming into an ACC team, and you're an ACC team that's welcoming guys from programs elsewhere.
Yeah, it was tough. I think last year the problem that we had is we didn't have the summer session. This year, we really bonded over the time that we had off because we only had, I had one summer class, so it was, school wasn't like difficult for me, so I didn't have to put a lot of time into it. So I had a lot of time to bond with my guys, and we didn't really have that last year, so that was probably one of our biggest downfalls. But coming from all these other places, we had the opportunity in the month and a half span to bond over that summer session and build. And we was also working out too, so we had that long summer session span just to bond and play together. We was playing open gyms and getting to learn each other's like tendencies and everything.
I'm curious because you mentioned the Duke thing, and I imagine that's like surreal, right?
Yeah.
When you think about guys actually taking the time to look at what the impact of that year might have been for themselves and for a lot of people, whether it's how weird the year was in general, some people aren't here anymore, like some people had to leave and come back. Like it was a strange and weird year, and now you get back to something normal, but it still, I would imagine, takes some time to like realize that it's going to get back to normal.
Yeah. For me, the last game that I played with fans was at Brewster with Terrence Clark and we played the game to go to the championship game, and they got cut off because everybody was worried about COVID and everything, and it just seems kind of weird that it was so long ago, and just thinking back, like wow, like because I'm 20 now, I was 17, 18 when I played that game, so it kind of feels like I'm new to this. Like I'm about to be new to having fans, and the amount of people that's coming to these games, playing at this level too. Like it's kind of scary to really think about, and especially the kids coming in now. From different schools, no matter the age, no matter the grade, anything. It's just gonna be, we just gotta rally together and understand the job and get it done.
Just to clarify, you won the game to go to the championship, but the championship wasn't played because of COVID?
Yes, sir.
Mark, how difficult was it to just trust this process? You got a new coach coming in, you see a bunch of your friends and former teammates leave to go to other schools. Obviously, you've got Makai here still. Was it difficult in that whole whirlwind to kind of just buy in, okay, I'm staying here, I believe in this?
For me, it wasn't really, crazy difficult. I had my family behind me. I obviously had Makai here. And my parents was just telling me, just test the water, see how it is. See how Grant is, see how the staff is that he brings in. If it doesn't fit you, then we'll enter the portal. And, being up here in the summer session, I just felt like I was at home. And, I live in Boston and I'm from Boston, but, just being up here and understanding, who he is, trying to get to know him, trying to get to know what he's trying to, input in our mindsets, I just felt real comfortable with it. So I understood and I, bought in and just stayed here.
Anything else? Great, thank you.
Very nice, Coach.